Welcome back VA user. In today's video we are going to learn how to create the tax rates into the VA system. So before we will go to the system and we'll see how to set up the tax rates into the VA system, we'll go through what's basically the tax rate. A tax rate is a percentage that is applied to the net amount of a transaction to calculate the amount of tax that is due. A tax category is a group of tax rates that are applied to similar type of transactions. Some of the benefit using the tax rates and the VA categories into the Vienna Advantage system. It will increase your accuracy by defining the tax rates and the tax categories. You can ensure that the correct amount of tax is calculated on each transaction. It reduces the complexity. By grouping similar tax rates together, you can simplify the tax calculation process. And the third one is the improved compliance. So by using tax rate and the tax categories, you can help to ensure that your organization is compliant with relevant regulations. So that is basically the tax rates. Let's move on to the VA system and we'll configure few of the tax categories as well as few of the tax rates. So let's move on to the tax at the level of the VA system and configure some tax rates. So let's move on to the VA system. So I'm logged in with my ABC admin, and first I just want to define the tax categories. So for defining the tax categories, I just need to log in, and by default there is a sales tax and there's a standard tax would be there. So if I want to define, I can rename this, or I can create a new tax category. So I just want to define a new tax category, that is, let's say GST category. I want to define default tax rate I do not have presently, so by default the standard is there that contains the zero tax rate. So I would save this, and now once it is defined, thereafter we just need to open the tax rate window. So open your tax rate window and we just need to go ahead and define GST. So I want to define the GST at the rate 5%. Now into the India, the GST 5% is divided, subdivided into IGST and SGST. So how do we define it? So I'm not defining any rate here at the moment. Instead I will say it is a summary level tax and I will save it out. Okay. Now the next tax I need to define as IGST. So I'm defining IGST at the rate 2.5%, and I will define my rate as 2.5%, and here I'm defining it is applicable for both the sales and the purchase cycle. Even you would be able to define it as the tax rate. Here you would be able to see some different checkbox. Now these different checkbox are utilized into the different part of the world. So there are the cases when taxes contains the cess, right, secondary cess, and then you will not get the rebate of these cesses. Instead, there are various organizations. Those organization wants to treat or consider the cess value into the cost of the product. So into the VA system, the possibility of considering such a kind of taxes which are not gets the rebate from the government, instead organization want to consider those, then in that case I just need to say include in the cost, or if there is a surcharge as well, then you would be able to define surcharges as well into, and those can be included into the cost as well. So these are the basically utilization of these checkbox. If the tax rate is a tax exempt, then you would be able to mark this. Now as I have defined that the IGST is 2.5%, but it is the child of my, let me refresh, it is the child of my GST 5%. So I will say it is the child of the GST 5%. So I want to save this. Now again the next record. So I will use my toolbar, the right toolbar. You have already gone through, I believe, the video of the toolbars. So let me record it out. And the next one is similar, that is SGST. So I just want to define, and it is also the part of GST 5%. So once I will define all these, accordingly the system will copy the relevant accounting defaults against each tax rate. So you would be able to see in this way. Okay, and thereafter at the level of the text category, if you want to define text preferences based on document type, document legend, text class. So these are certain other setups into the VA system that would allow you to pick the rates automatically when you select a particular product. So that we will discuss in some other videos. In this video, we have to cover only the text categories and the text rates. And I hope by going through with this video, you would be able to configure the text rate into the VA system. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.